well, throwing out the first pitch. And the Fanatic not only was helping with the videography here at the ballpark, but also helping with the grounds crew, making sure that the home plate area is painted properly. He also was, every time the grounds crew would pave the warning track, he would put his footprints down. And this is what happens when the ground rules take a little too long. The Fanatic gets bored. But it's nice to see the big green guy here getting a chance to enjoy. A lot of Phillies fans are walking the concourse and are here in Seattle. They'll get a chance to see him from time to time during the course of this evening's ball game. Well, Pete has brought out the lineup card for this 2-game series against the Seattle Mariners. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup, brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, there's one notable addition. That's Howie Kendrick back in the lineup, DHing. Pete said that he's fine. They just figured they would have him DH the next couple of days with that tight hamstring. And then there's also a noticeable subtraction. Aaron Altherr is batting cleanup and playing center field. Odubel Herrera has tonight off for the Phils. And they will face the right-hander James Paxton, the 28-year-old from British Columbia. 5-2 with an ERA of 3.39. John, he hasn't been the same pitcher since he came off the disabled list, but he's got a chance to be nasty, particularly against left-handed hitters.
Yeah, he really does. Big, tall guy, throws hard, great breaking pitches, change-up. There you see his repertoire, averaging almost 96 miles an hour. But you see his record at home, too, though, 2017, 4-1, 2.48, and just like a lot of these other Mariners offensive players, better numbers at home than on the road.
Well, he's finishing up his warm-up tosses. The Mariners come in right at the 500 mark this year at 39-39 and 13 and a half games back in the American League West. Let's take a look at our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Backup performance for Aaron Nola. He was great against the St. Louis Cardinals his last start. Same outing here. Fastball command is of utmost importance, and play winning baseball. We can't get picked off. We can't run the bases loosely and get guys thrown out by running stop signs and all that other stuff. But more importantly, defensively, the defense wasn't that great in Arizona, and consequently we lost 3 out of 4. We have to catch the ball and knock it down when possible.
Well, Scott Servais, the manager, Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the pitching coach, those guys are hoping that they can continue this homestand in a fine fashion against the Phils. Here's Daniel Nava to lead things off. Nava playing left field tonight. He was 3 for 7 in the series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Overall hitting .286. And the first pitch of the night from James Paxton is in there for strikes or underway, and it's 0-1. And by the way, a gorgeous night for baseball here in Seattle.
We didn't think we'd be saying that, did we?
It is beautiful.
Last 4 games.
Blue skies up above. Cloudy in the morning. Turned out to be a nice day. And the roof is off. Can't say that it's open. It's just off the top of Safeco. There it is. It slid out toward right field.
It's a neat place.
It sure is. No balls, 2 strikes to Nava. And a tapper foul, and it remains 0-2.
That gives you the feel of PNC Park in Pittsburgh without the river behind it, of course.
A little bit.
Just reminds me of that ballpark.
Well, there's some great scenery up over left field. You can see the Seahawks Stadium and a piece of downtown.
See, there's the Seahawks Stadium right there. Well,
we promise you it's right there. 71 degrees at game
still
time.
Right there.
And Nava swing and a miss.
There it is. Got up a little late.
And one away here in the first.
Perhaps it distracted Daniel Nava.
How's your sketch pad working
Not
over there?
real good right now, but you know, it's a long season. It's a work in progress.
Freddie Galvis now the hitter. Galvis 2 for 10 against the Mariners when they faced them. Phillies faced him in Philly. Overall hitting .245 with 7 home runs, and he takes a strike. This guy throw anything other than strikes?
Well, no, not yet.
So 0-2. That's a good breaking ball from Paxton. His last outing against the Tigers, he went 5 1/3, allowed 9 hits and 4 runs. 3 of those runs were earned. He did not go, according to Ben May, the first base umpire. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Alan Bloom of Pennsauken. Phillies hit a homer in today's ball game, and Alan will win $300. Introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Freddie will be followed by Howie Kendrick. Freddie had a nice series against the Diamondbacks. He was 5 for 17. Here's Howie. And he fouls one over the first base dugout.
A little 97 for you right there, running in on the hands of Freddie Galvis. So I mean, this guy has the stuff to be a dominant pitcher. It's just, can he put it together? Can he figure out a way to maneuver through a lineup without throwing a ton of pitches?
I think the other thing too is he smokes this one to third, backhanded by Seager. Boy, he just makes one good play after another. I know he has 8 errors, but he has been a highlight reel over at third base at times for these Mariners.
It seems like we always bring out the best in people, don't we? Or so it seems. But I think that's the thing that's important. You see that first step, how quickly that first step was, the reaction time from the time it left Freddie's bat to the time it got to his glove, unbelievable. And you know, that great clock, didn't rush a throw off balance. He set his feet, made a good strong throw over to first base. We don't have anyone on yet.
2 away. Here's Howie Kendrick. Kendrick back in the starting lineup. He's hit 6 consecutive games, hitting .361 overall with 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. And he fouls this one off to the right side. Murph, Pete was targeting this day because of the DH possibilities. He said the other day he just didn't want to rush Howie Kendrick back because the hamstring could be such a problematic injury.
You know, he's a little bit concerned with Howie Kendrick. Kendrick had told him that he's still feeling something in that hamstring, and you know that is a concern. Obviously, they're trying to keep him healthy, but he did say that batting offensively, he thinks he can handle it. He said if he gets on base, he thinks he can control what he's able to do. What he was worried about, what Howie was worried about, is playing the field, because he said, you know, those quick starts and stops, that's what's going to aggravate his hamstring. So it was perfect timing for them to have a DH playing in an American League ballpark. They can allow Howie to get some at bats, allow him to stay fresh, and not have to put him out there in the field where they think he could, you know, maybe irritate that hamstring, and it'll allow him a little bit more time to get back to 100%. So it did work out well coming to Seattle and getting a chance to use the DH for Kendrick.
Well, he's down on strikes to wrap up this first inning. It's the second strikeout for Paxton. So the Phillies go down in order, and their half of the first will go to the bottom of the first. It's the Phillies nothing, and the Mariners coming up.
life, and we're not going to get it back because Aaron Nola threw to first.
It's their chance to voice their disapproval, even though it's weirdly done. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Pretty interesting. As soon as that pitch was called ball 3, all 3 outfielders started shifting toward the pull side with Robinson Cano, like in unison, like they had a rope attached to each other.
To the right side, that could be 2. Kelly to second for 1, and that'll be an easy 4-6-3 double play. Now the side is retired, no runs, no hits, and nobody left. We'll head to the second. Farm double play. State Farm here to help life go right.
A good fastball by Aaron Nola running away from Robinson Cano, and had all day. Once Freddie got it, just a nice little toss to Tommy Joseph. Wasn't a bang bang play at first, but that's our double play. State Farm gets Aaron Nola out of that first inning.
Well, now we go to the second. Aaron Altherr lead it off. The fastball runs outside, 1-0. Altherr 7 for 18 in the series against the Diamondbacks. It's a solid season, 283. Little dribbler, that's going to be a tough play. Seager will barehand, try to get out of the way of Paxton. And I don't think Valencia had his foot on the bag.
I think he did, but they might look at this. I think he really confused the umpire. I think that it appeared to me that Danny Valencia thought that that was an easy hit, and I'm just going to come off the base and catch it. And apparently he doesn't play enough with Kyle Seager to understand that he's not going to give up on a play.
That was a really good play by Seager, but he had to avoid Paxton too. I think he might be out.
He's out, yeah, but I think it just deceived the umpire, because I think the umpire saw the terrible footwork and figured, okay, he's not on the base, he's safe. But that's what happens, though. It's one guy not giving up on a play, but the other guy did.
Right.
You know, if this was a no replay, you know, however many years ago, you know, he just cost his team a runner, leadoff runner, to get on base.
See right there, his foot's on the bag and the ball is in his glove, and Altherr
definitely out.
Oh, maybe his foot wasn't on the bag. I'm sorry, it was getting there.
Yeah, that was closer than you think. I thought his toe was on the base, but it wasn't. It was the heel.
But, you know, this would have been a non-call if Valencia had just had his foot on the bag the whole time. Yeah. And Seager, who won a Gold Glove back in 2014, has made 2 excellent plays in these first 2 innings.
He just gave up on it and figured, okay, he's safe.
In my mind, when that ball dribbled up the third base
I
line,
didn't think it was going to be close.
I didn't think it was going to be close either. It's taking a long time to look at this too. I think we've shown a definitive shot, but maybe not.
Maybe it wasn't as cut and dried as what we thought.
Seager's looking at it and saying, "What the heck? Why is it taking so long?" And they're making fun. Zunino's making fun of Valencia over at first base for his footwork.
Oh, it was bad.
It was bad. Mike Everett's to your left, and Ben May is to your right. And it looks like we have the decision. Looks like he just said outs. And he is out at first, so 5-3 on the putout. Well, it is an excellent play because you got a guy that moves really well in Aaron Altair. Yeah, he's out by a half step. Took 2 minutes to review it. Well, you can laugh about it now because he's out.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Joseph takes strike one. It's 0-1. Tommy hitting .253 with 12 homers and 37 runs batted in.
Tell you what, Paxton's an easy 95.
I think his biggest issue have been the injuries that he has sustained over the years. There's no doubt, as you mentioned, he has the stuff. Screen 2-2. Last year he made 13 starts in the big leagues. The year before 13 starts. And the year before that just 4. So even though he's pitched in the big leagues since 2013, he's only made 61 starts. Yeah. Tommy Joseph is down looking. That's the 3rd strikeout for Paxton. And 2 outs here in the second. Pitchcast presented by Mazda. Right at the top of the zone.
Yeah, Tommy gave up on that one. He thought that breaking ball was high, and at the last second it drops down at the very top of the strike zone.
Maikel Franco was hitless in the last series against the Mariners. And he takes a cut and miss at the first fastball.
He's going to continue to be hitless if he swings at that 95-mile-an-hour fastball over his head.
0-2.
Going to ask if Paxton came up with the Diamondbacks. Fastball command, breaking balls in the dirt. Seems to be the way they pitched us in Arizona. When Arizona came to our place.
Trying to check his swing. He went around, says the home plate umpire. And Maikel Franco is the 4th strikeout victim of the night. 6 up, 6 down for the Phils. We go to the bottom of the second in a scoreless ball game. Interlake High School in nearby Bellevue, Washington, and that's why Larry Anderson threw out the ceremonial first pitch. And why not on the anniversary of the final game at the Kingdome where Larry pitched? He gets a chance to chuck it from just in front of the mound. I'm surprised that he lobbed it the way he lobbed it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there can't be much left. I mean, let's just put it that way. But he told me he was going to throw a knuckleball because he said he couldn't throw a slider. So he's afraid he'd look like, quote, 50 Cent when 50 threw one and almost hit, what, the mayor?
Yes, he did.
But
there's Larry's numbers with the Mariners. He's sitting next to his daughter, Tanya, his youngest daughter. He's still wearing the jersey.
Yeah, he is.
He's hoping that they call him into the game.
He probably blew out his rotator cuff and he can't lift his arm to take it off. But we'll probably see that again tomorrow on him.
Here's the first pitch to Nelson Cruz.
But it was just like, I'm a country music fan.
Yes.
Trace Atkins sang.
Did a great job.
Great job. Like, brought chills to you because you know what the military means to Trace Atkins and all he does for the military. So you know he has that feeling in him when he sings of patriotism. Not that others don't. I'm not saying that, but and then Larry comes out and throws out the first pitch and ruins everything.
No chills.
Just ruined it.
No chills.
Nah,
for
not
you?
chills at all. More scared for Larry that he would, you know, actually hurt something.
Well, we may not know until tomorrow when he wakes up. Second strikeout for Nola.
Well, it's a good thing it's a day game tomorrow, so he doesn't have time to recoup.
There's Kyle Seager. You know, we were in St. Louis a couple weeks ago. We shagged in the outfield, and he threw. As you watch this curveball to Nelson Cruz.
It's a nice one. Nice depth to that one. Starts out above the knees and ends up with the dirt right in front of Cameron Rupp. Beautiful pitch. So he shagged.
Yeah, but he also threw.
Wow.
Not from the mound, but on flat ground, and he had a little zip on it. We estimated he was throwing at 79 miles an hour, but he was cutting it.
It's harder than he threw when he played.
That's what he said. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know, it's amazing. He'll do that, but when he used to come to fantasy camp, he would never pitch.
What?
Oh, I can't, arm.
Well, I will tell you that after he threw about 10 pitches and tried to let it go a little bit, he was not feeling good after that.
Good for him. Well, he's 68 years old. I mean,
he is an old fuddy-duddy. Anyway. Back to the screen, 1-2. Aaron Nola is coming off the disabled list. Is 2-5. His earned run average 4.25. As we mentioned, his last outing, 7 1/3, 4 hits and 1 earned run, struck out 8. Throws that breaking ball in the dirt. It's 2-2. The best command of his fastball just yet.
no, but his other pitches are paying off for him right now. The changeup and that breaking ball we saw he struck out Cruz with, but like I said, you can't go through this lineup a second time without fastball command.
With a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and Seager fouls it back. Seager is the older brother of Corey Seager from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He has hit at least 25 home runs in each of the last 3 years. He is not on pace for that this season. In fact, we showed you his numbers recently, hitting under 200 in recent games. And he serves that one toward left field. And Daniel Nava is over, and he makes the catch toward the line. 2 outs. Hey, we got 2 great post-game fireworks shows coming up, sponsored by Xfinity. Thursday, July 6th, when the Pirates are in town, and Friday, July 7th, when the Padres are there. It's the best holiday fireworks show in the city. Not too early to start planning to see these games. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Well, 2 away here in the second. Phillies and the Mariners scoreless. The first pitch to Mitch Haniger is a strike. He's hitting .311 with 6 home runs. Mariners just picked him up from the Diamondbacks this past offseason. We were just there. The Diamondbacks certainly have plenty of outfielders.
Yeah, they do. Plenty of versatility, too. And they don't pitch poorly, and they can hit good, and their bullpen was really good against it.
So we're telling you they have a solid team.
Yeah, I still think the Dodgers are the best team in the West, but
I would agree.
But I don't see the Diamondbacks really going anywhere if they stay healthy.
1-2 pitch. And a strike 3 called right down the chute. 3 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. And we have played 2. Both these pitchers are right on the money. We'll head to the 3rd. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, here we go. Who holds the Mariners record for consecutive scoreless innings by a pitcher? The Mariners record for consecutive scoreless innings, and this guy was a good one. Answer will be revealed in just a little bit.
I got 3 choices.
Okay.
I'd say this one would be my first choice.
Randy Johnson would be your first choice?
Yeah, but now you're telling them that's not the right answer.
It's not the right answer. I won't say anything about the other 2 choices. It's a good choice. It's not the right one, though. Cameron Perkins leads it off.
No, I got more. I got more. I'm just writing names down now. So I'm 1 for 4 with a homer.
Oh boy.
Hopefully there were some men on base when I drove in that run.
0-2 pitch to Perkins. He taps it foul at the plate.
Who comes up with these questions? Like what?
John DeSangro, our associate producer.
Oh,
You get him a plate of cookies, he'll give you an easy question. Cameron Perkins strikes out on a slider from Paxton. 5 strikeouts for Paxton. Boy, he does look nasty. We can see it on film, but when you watch him in person with his fastball in the upper 90s and then he throws the breaking pitch like that, he's got some good stuff tonight.
Yeah, He does, and it's a lot easier said than done. When you're watching on TV, you can say, well, how can you swing at that pitch? When a guy's throwing 95 to 98 and you have to get it started early, and you see that pitch there that looks like it's a strike until it's about, as soon as it reaches the dirt in front of home plate, and then all of a sudden it starts breaking down on you, it's hard to lay off of.
Well, he missed on that first pitch to Cameron Rupp. Rupp was 2 for 3 when these two teams faced off in Philly. And for Perkins now 0 for his last 17. 2 balls, no strikes. For his last 17 for the young outfielder in his first stint in the big leagues. 3-0 to Rupp. Oh, it took 7 hitters, or 8 hitters, I should say. And finally, Paxton has fallen behind with a 3-ball, no strike count. And he just walked Cameron Rupp on 4 pitches. So first walk issued by the big lefty. And now Ty Kelly's coming up.
Normally with the real rules of baseball, the National League rules, this would be the pitcher. Aaron Nola's turn to bat, probably be bunting, but that's what makes it. I think that's what makes it so much more difficult pitching in this league than the other. You really don't have what you would call an easy out.
Well, so much more difficult pitching, but it's a little easier sometimes to manage when you don't have to worry about taking the pitcher out, making the double switch. Not that Scott Service is, looking for the easy way out.
No, but there are some guys that struggled in the National League. You look at some teams and it's throw out the 9 guys and your guys on the bench might as well just go home. Keep one around in case someone gets hurt. But yeah, there's not much strategy involved. Bunts are out.
One of the pictures that I always have in my mind, and I'm not saying that he wasn't a good manager because he's a Hall of Famer, but watching Joe Torre when he managed the Yankees, and he would literally just sit there with his legs crossed in the dugout with a cup of tea or coffee, and he would be in the same position the entire game.
Yeah, but they were winning 100-something games a year too, so
they were.
Not a lot of thought goes into that.
2 balls, 1 strike to Kelly.
Let's see, do I play Jeter or do I play Jeter?
That is fouled back to our right.
Should I catch Jorge or Posada? Oh, let me go with.
Should I put Bernie Williams in center field?
Hey Mel Stottlemyre pitching. Hey Mel, I think we should bring in this Rivera kid in the 9th.
Maybe we'll bring him in the 8th tonight.
I think he'll be pretty good someday when he gets his 900th save.
Kelly down looking on strikes. That's the 6th strikeout for Paxton. And 2 outs here in the 3rd.
Tell you what, with all the strikeouts we have, I'm hoping Paxton's on a pitch count. This is 2-strike fastball, center cut, and all too familiar sight when this. I can't figure it out. I give up.
That was a good pitch.
Right down the middle.
Yeah.
And it's not like the first one. That's what's.
Daniel Nava takes a strike at the knees. Nava first time up, went down on strikes. Career high at strikeouts for Paxton is 10. He has done that twice in his career. And now it's 0-2 to Nava. Well, if he is on a pitch count, he's at a decent number right now.
You might want to work on fouling some off.
right, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He ain't breathing hard yet.
No, he's had a pretty comfortable pace going.
Except for that replay review.
Over to third base, and Seager makes another good play. Throws to second. The inning is over. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. There was a 1-out walk. Middle of the third. Valencia due to lead it off. Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Bow Honda dealer. Visit DelBowHondaDealers.com and buy WB Mason. Who bought WB Mason for fast free delivery? Nobody does it better. Mount Rainier in the background as we look across Elliott Bay. Right there. Can't you see it?
Oh.
In that picture? I know you were going to climb it today. Look, there's snow on top.
If we didn't have the luncheon, I was scaling.
Well, we did go to the luncheon. They came 2,820 miles to see the Phils. And on the other side, it says to see John Kruk and Greg Lazinski.
And Greg Murphy.
And Greg Murphy.
That Holy Cross standout. Greg Murphy. No comment from the peanut gallery.
If Bull had only
there I am.
Nope. Yeah, there was somebody wearing your jersey today, your Cooperstown collection jersey today.
Yeah.
At the luncheon.
Why they call it a Cooperstown collection? So
I think it's because you're older.
The only time I'll ever get there is if I go visit.
Here's Danny Valencia to lead it off, and he takes off the outside corner. It's 1-0. It's funny, it was a Cooperstown collection, but it said JoJo instead of John.
Yeah.
JoJo Kruk.
After my brother, probably.
Well, he did have a story about your brother.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And Hawk. I didn't know that was Hawk's name, but I've met Hawk. Played on the same basketball team in college as my brother. They were good friends.
I got you.
Never knew his first name.
There's 2-0 pitch to Valencia. And a strike, so it's 2-1. Valencia hitting .273 with 7 home runs. Good curveball. Boy, he had him opening up a little bit on that.
Yeah, it's a really good pitch. Really good pitch.
I should say closing. I'm thinking it was going to hit him.
Like he was. How do you wear an elbow pad if you're going to tuck that baby in and not let it get hit?
They throw another one. It's just a little farther away. It's 4 strikeouts now for Nola. And 1 out here in the third. Phils fans got a busy week ahead? Well, no problem. Catch every CSN game with the NBC Sports app. Download now to keep up with all your favorite teams.
And what's that thing you told me to get so I can watch games and stuff?
Your Xfinity app.
apps?
No, your Xfinity app, because you have Xfinity at home.
Yeah.
And you can download that and watch watch some of your own TV if you want to. If you want to DVR it.
Is that DVR? Is that the same things like when you record a
Correct.
show?
Yep.
So I could have conceivably, if I do it, watch my wrestling.
You could have watched a little
tonight.
wrestling back at the hotel.
I got to watch it on the plane from Phoenix to here. Murph gave me nothing on the plane. I mean, not even a hello. And then he complained that I didn't put the shade down so he could see
Mount Rainier.
Mount Rainier when we were landing. The only time he talked to me the whole flight, 2.5 hours, just to complain about something.
You got any defense for that one there, Murphy?
If you could see John's face when you approach the subject of talking to him on the airplane.
Yeah.
Poor flight attendants, they're petrified.
Do you think it has anything to do with the takeoff, the landing, or just the whole trek?
I think it's the whole thing.
2.5 hours of being just completely miserable. You're right, Murph. I'm not a great conversationalist, but I would open up to you if you wanted to really chat one day.
Well, we have a 5-hour flight going on,
Yes, you do.
All right, well, I'll tell you all about my feelings.
I'm going to sit in that middle seat right next to you.
Grab everything that comes by. Johnny, you want one of these? You want some sushi? You want this? 3-1 to Dyson with one out here in the third. Boy, that's a pretty good pitch. That is the second walk issued by Nola. And here is Mike Zunino.
Got a feeling Dyson's got to run at some point, doesn't he?
I would think so.
It's a changeup.
It did die at the end.
Yeah, it did. Good eye by Jared Dyson, but changeup.
To a guy that's really not a home run hitter.
It's like Leo Mazzone always said, if he's not a power hitter, you throw a fastball down and away, let him hit it as far as he wants.
Zunino takes a strike and it's 0-1. When we saw the Mariners last time, it was Tuffy Goswitch and Carlos Ruiz who were the catchers. They had sent Zunino down because they needed him to clear his head, re-energize. He certainly has done that.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of crazy. You know, what was he? He's a lifetime, what,
Under
180 hitter or something?
He's had some power during his career, but nothing else.
Yeah, and I said, you know, how do you, to get his head right from what? I mean, he's hitting 180, but apparently they know more about this psychiatry stuff than I do.
30 RBIs here in the month of June. Lifts that one out to shallow left center field. Galvis is backpedaling, says he has it. And he makes the catch for the second out. Well, now I would think Dyson is going to go at some point.
You would think. I mean, you know, Aaron Nola can be quick to home. Sometimes he's more deliberate, but you know, he's so long with his delivery that even if his legs go quicker, like more of a slide step or not a high leg kick, and I would imagine Casey Kendall, the first base coach, I'm sure he's paying attention, but I would think that, yeah, maybe you can take off here.
Kendall's over the first base coach's box. Manny Acta is in the third base coach's box. And Segura sends it in the air to deep right field. Perkins going back, and it is gone. A 2-run home run, the 5th of the year for Segura. And the Mariners take a 2-0 lead. Well, that ball took off.
Yeah, for ballpark, it's supposed to be tougher to get the ball into the seats. Segura hit this one a long way the other way. I mean, it was up away. He stayed on it beautifully. Like that was like when it left the bat, it was gone.
Yep. There's Ben Gamel. He struck out his first time up. And he takes a hook for a strike, 0-1. All right, right, so the Mariners jump out to a 2-0 lead. 85th home run of the year for Seattle. Well, they faced the Phillies in Philadelphia. They had 32 hits.
And the way we're scoring runs, the way Paxton looks like he's throwing.
One ball and 2 strikes.
Who are those people in our heads talking?
Well, it sounded like Murph was having a conversation with somebody, and he was going to go on a trip. One ball, 2 strikes to Gamble. Gamble hitting .346 coming in. He is first among rookies in the American League in batting average at .346.
Not that front door fastball. Start that thing at Gamble's hip and bring it over.
Looks like that's what Rupp's going to set up to try to do, and they do. Strike 3 called. Second time that he's gotten Gamble tonight. 5th strikeout overall. But Gene Segura has given the Mariners a 2-0 lead. He blasts one to right field. His 5th homer of the year. We'll head to the 4th. Very same day. That's right. WB Mason delivers all the brands you need to keep your facility running, like Scott products that deliver superior value and an optimum balance of quality and affordability, all delivered for free. By who? With WB Mason. You know, Ben is cleaning his garage right now while he's watching us. He's got the app going, so he could use some of those products. You know, he moved into his new house, so he's cleaning up his garage. He was baling hay today.
I wonder if WB Mason can get us some runs delivered here pretty quick.
First pitch to Freddie Galvis is taken for a strike. There's Nick Pivetta. Pivetta had a rough day yesterday after having a couple really good outings. Galvis hits it over to third, a foul ball. Pivetta went 2 2/3 yesterday, 6 earned runs and 7 hits. As the Phillies dropped the finale of that series to Arizona 6-1. Five walks. That was the key. The 5 walks in a lot of ways. Outside 1-2 to Galvis. Galvis, Kendrick, and Aaron Altair for the Phillies, who are 3-16 in their last 19 games, and 24-51 coming into tonight's ball game. Popped up right side. Robinson Cano makes the catch. And one away. Howie Kendrick's coming up. Time for a timeless moment. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. It's brought to you by Coors Banquet. July 27, 2010. Left-handed pitcher Jamie Moyer is the 40th pitcher to reach 4,000 strikeouts during an 11-2 win versus Toronto. Now, the Blue Jays 2 runs in that game. They came off a home run by Vernon Wells, so that also made Moyer, he allowed 506 home runs, and that broke the record held by Robin Roberts for most in baseball. So a very big day for Jamie Moyer that day back on July 27, 2010. Both good, and maybe not so good, but that's what you get when you play as long as Jamie Moyer, right?
That is exactly right. There are 2 outs. And Jamie talks about that.
And you know what, Tom? Jamie Moyer's in the building tonight. I don't know if you've seen him, but I saw him earlier today.
Really?
He is here. I don't know where he is sitting. Oh, who are all these people around me? Is that what you're asking? All right, these guys around me, well, you've already showed them. Part of the Phillies vacations. They're all here. Yeah, give yourself a big hit. Yeah. Almost 100 Philly fans making their way all the way across the country to watch a couple of games here in Seattle and enjoy themselves as well. You guys enjoying yourselves? You're enjoying yourself, as always.
Absolutely.
He's always, yes. It's just great. You know, you hear so much about great fans. No doubt in the world, the Philadelphia Phillies have the best fans. I mean, who else would travel all the way across the country to watch these baseball games, right? I mean, it's just a lot of fun. These guys always have a lot of fun, and it's a good time. We got a chance to spend some time with them today. We enjoyed that as well, guys.
We sure did.
Bull was there.
Bull
Greg
was there.
Luzinski.
Yeah. Greg's over there. He's over there to my right. Scott Palmer, Joe Giles.
Joe's son Max. Got
Very-
a chance to meet Max
Very
today.
personable young man.
Yep, absolutely.
Looks you in the eye, shakes your hand. It's very comforting to see that.
2-1 pitch to Altair. And it's 3-1. Yeah, the folks came out a couple days ago, so they beat us here. They were supposed to take a boat ride yesterday. The seas were angry yesterday, so they did not head onto the water. But they got a chance to see the sights here in Seattle, in the outlying areas.
I played in Washington State in rookie ball when I first got drafted in Walla Walla, which I have no idea what part of the state of Washington that's in, but I know we went to Bellingham, Washington, right on the Puget Sound.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that place was beautiful.
Outside, Altair draws a walk. We're told that Walla Walla's in the far east. Washington.
Famous for their sweet onions, the Walla Walla sweet onion. They were, you could literally eat them like apples.
You can make a candle out of them.
Yeah, I don't know. They weren't really strong enough. It's not a fried onion. It's just, but you literally could eat them like you would eat an apple. Peel it and just go. Well, not that you have to peel an apple, but
you told some stories today about the first person you met when you arrived with your minor league team.
Walla Walla.
You opened your hotel room and
there sat Anthony Keith Gwynn.
So he was your roommate.
Jerry Curl and all, 1981, man. And Tony, the creature habit that he was, he didn't get rid of that Jerry Curl until when did he start shaving his head?
It's so funny that's the first person that you met.
Well, the cab driver that took me from.
Well, no, your first teammate, I'm saying.
Yeah. They had us rooming together.
Taught him everything he knows.
Well, yeah, I worked on it. It was a work in progress.
2 balls and 1 strike.
I don't think he ever fully grasped
your
my
style.
thought process. So he went on his own there for a while and hit 394 in one of those break years from me. We were legally separated.
2-2. 2-2 now to Tommy Joseph. Tommy, first time up, struck out.
I mean, at some point Tony filed for divorce, but we reconciled. That one year he hit 280.
I can only imagine that when you opened up the hotel room and you saw Tony Gwynn sitting on the bed waiting for you.
What do you think he thought of me? He's like, are you kidding? Really? Hey, you're the trainer?
Oh, man. Trying to check his swing, and he went around. Tommy Joseph struck out for the second time. 7 strikeouts for Paxton, who's not allowed to hit through the first 4 innings. to you by Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEF now or visit jeffersonhealth.org. 2-0 Mariners on top. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. A 2-run home run by Gene Segura. Some more Phillies fans who have ventured out to Safeco. Walking around the concourse. Murph and I were walking around before the ball game. There were a lot of them that were here. Some just made the trip out. Some were in Arizona and then came up to Seattle as part of their vacation. They came up to Safeco Field, which will most likely change names when we come back here the next time, whenever that is. There's Robinson Cano to lead it off, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, this is my first time.
Yeah, and you had never been at the Kingdome.
No, no interleague. Then when I was the 1 year in American League before we came to Seattle, like I think it was like the day before, I broke my foot and had to stay back in Chicago.
First base, Tommy Joseph has it, and Aaron Nola's there to cover. 3-1 on the putout. Safeco closed 15 years ago today. This ballpark opened around the All-Star break, which is kind of odd, you know, for a team. Or I should say the Kingdome closed 15 years ago today, and then they moved into Safeco. It's kind of odd that they would close a facility in the middle of a year and then move them into a brand new one, considering that was turf, this was grass.
And where, from what I understand, where the Seahawks played, that's where the Kingdome was.
Right. So the stadium you see behind Safeco, that's the home of the Seattle Seahawks. That's where the Kingdome was. Nelson Cruz, the hitter.
I like places that the ballparks are all close to each other, unless they're going on at the same time, which could be a nightmare,
traffic-wise,
as we've seen in Philly.
Yeah. Yeah, Kansas City's that way. Both the Chiefs Stadium, Arrowhead.
Yeah, we had trouble getting out with the what was that concert?
Oh, U2 concert.
U2, yeah. I'd never heard of them, so I wouldn't.
You had no interest in going to see U2?
No, no. I like I said, I wouldn't know a song they sang.
Could have broadened your horizons.
No, I'm good, really. Creature habit. Don't try to change me now. I'm 56 years old. Although Murph tried to change me on the plane when he did speak to me.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Cruz.
Asked me if I wanted to put chia seeds on my shrimp cocktail.
And you were not going for that.
Nope. What, did Murph just check out on us? He's gone, right?
He finished his interview and his discussion of the tour.
I'm right here. I can hear every word you're saying.
Had a strike 3 called and a curveball. That is 6 strikeouts now for Nola. Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, I'm starting to think it must be tough to see.
Decide which players you think are All-Star Game worthy by casting your vote through the Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot on your computer, tablet, or phone. Vote today, vote tomorrow. Vote at Phillies.com/vote. Be sure to catch all the excitement from Miami during the 88th MLB All-Star Game, presented by MasterCard, July 11th, live on Fox. Well, 2 outs. Kyle Seager takes inside. Really 1 bad at bat so far for Aaron Nola. The 2-run home run by Gene Segura. Fly ball left center field. Aaron Altair comes running in, and he's under it. And a 1-2-3 4th inning for the books here at Safeco. We'll move on to the 5th with the Phillies down 2-0. Padres, it's a 135 first pitch, and it's the Hers Kids Retro Pullover Jacket that's free for children 14 and under. Visit Phillies.com for more information and to order your tickets. There is a picture of the giveaway. It's a great item. We'll go to the top of the 5th inning. It'll be Maikel Franco, Cameron Perkins, and Cameron Rupp against James Paxton. The first pitch to Franco is lifted down the right field line. On the run is Henniger, and it's over his head. It's the first hit of the night for the Phils, and Franco will get into second as Henniger dropped the baseball off the carom. All right, so for Maikel Franco, it's his 13th double of the year. Not a bad idea going after that first pitch.
Well, he's been throwing a lot of first pitch strikes and first pitch fastball strikes, and that pitch is pretty much center cut. I think it's a pitch that Franco can get to right now. Center in. And there you see the right fielder with the bobble, but he wouldn't have a chance at Franco anyway. And here's a great thing about the American League now is, you try to get him over. You don't have to worry about pitching around Cameron Rupp to get to Ty Kelly, because ain't no pitcher back there now.
And a liner foul. It's 0-1.
You can see right there that Cameron Perkins was attempting to hit that ball the other way. Try to get Franco to third base with less than 2 outs.
Yeah, Perkins is 0 for his last 17. May not be a bad idea for him to try to shorten up and punch it the other way. Little dribbler up the third base line. Franco will go to third, and Perkins is able to beat that one out for an infield hit.
Ooh. Tell you, a lot of good things on that play. Because Perkins was trying to go the other way in his previous at bats, that same pitch he's swinging and missing. But because he's trying to let the ball get deeper, look, he didn't hit it hard, but let's not look a gift horse, but he gets that ball. But Franco had a great read on that ball. He was going to be at third base regardless, and the bonus plan, because Perkins can run. There you see him busting it out of the box. No chance for Seager to get him. Now we have the potential of a big inning.
All right, now you talked about him letting the ball get deep. A lot of folks say when you are struggling to get yourself jammed, because then you're not out front and rolling over on something.
Yep. And I think with Franco on second, the fact that he had to try to hit the ball that way, he threw, when he struck out, Paxton threw one of those pitches of that breaking ball in the dirt that he was way out in front of.
Balls and 1 strike to Cameron Rupp with runners on first and third. That pitch down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cam walked his first time up on 4 pitches.
Turn one loose right here. Hey, if Segura can hit a home run to right field, he can too.
He's got the power to do it.
Ain't kid.
Tied him up 2-2. Pretty good location for a 96-mile-an-hour heater. Not out over the plate, more toward the inner half.
That throw to first was called by the dugout because it looked like Paxton was too interested in executing it properly. You want me to throw over? I'll throw over. Ain't gonna be a good one. That's a better one. That either tells you as a hitter that he's throwing over to try to keep Perkins close so he can throw an off-speed pitch, or they think he's stealing.
Dirt blocked by Zunino, 3-2.
Was that an off-speed pitch?
That was an off-speed pitch. Franco's at third, Perkins at first.
Here's the interesting thing: if you're Pete, you know, at some point you got to throw caution to the wind and say, you know what, let's send it. Let's hope Cameron can put it in play. Let's hope Perkins doesn't get picked off. First of all, I think, you know, I think we're at the point where what the heck, huh?
I would think the same thing. And Rupp walks for the second time. That's going to load the bases up. And that's the third walk issued by Paxton.
Cameron Rupp must be seeing it better than the rest of them. He didn't chase that breaking ball in the dirt.
Now that brings Mel Stottlemyre Jr. out to the mound. With the bases loaded and Ty Kelly at the plate.
You got to score multiple runs in this inning right now. Bases loaded, no outs. Like I said, no pitcher hitting.
Well, let's see how Ty Kelly approaches this. We saw Franco go after Paxton early in the count. We saw Perkins go after Paxton early in the count. RBI situation. Figure he might try to get a fastball over.
Yeah, I don't think I'd wait around. I know he just walked Cameron Rupp, but he threw 2 breaking balls to walk it. If I'm Ty Kelly, I'm looking dead red first pitch and trying to put a gapper on him.
And he throws him a strike at 95 toward the outer edge.
Okay, that might not have been. You know, you're looking fastball middle in. That was pretty much a perfectly located 95.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Isn't it amazing though, the first few innings Pax was just fastball, occasional curve, fastball. And then as soon as the fastball gets hit,
he's tentative.
Yeah, let's go back and let's go to the off-speed stuff now, try to trick him.
Yeah, 7 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. Fans are getting on Mike Everett a little bit, but it looked like the catcher Zunino brought that ball back. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ty Kelly. And he fouls it back over the screen. It's 2-2. Kelly playing second base tonight.
As last at bat he struck out, similar count, right? 2-2, 1-2, 2-2, and he took a fastball right down the middle.
But he gets a fastball, lifts it in the air to center field. Dyson's going back. Franco's tagging from third, and Dyson's throw goes to second base, and the Phillies score a run. Perkins also goes to third, and it's a 2-1 ball game. 5 RBIs now for Ty Kelly. Turned out to be a productive at bat.
Very productive at bat. Great base running by Cameron Perkins. Now another fly ball tie the game, but yeah, here it is right there. Fastball elevated. Pretty easy pitch to hit in the air. Give Ty Kelly credit. He did hit it in the air and got us a run, but not only that, but like you said, he got Perkins at third base. Now another fly ball. We got a tie game.
Daniel Nava has struck out. He's also hit into a fielder's choice.
Real smart play by Dyson too, because to throw it into second base to keep the double play in order. A lot of guys would try to airmail that thing to third.
Yeah, I thought that's what he was going to do at first, the way his body was. That he sort of changed at the last moment.
That the double play won't be in order. Daniel Nava hits one in a gap.
Preferably the left center field gap.
Yeah, logical thinking.
And it goes out toward right center field. Haniger makes the catch. Tagging from third is Perkins. The throw to the plate is up the line and gets past the catcher Zunino. And the Phillies have tied the ball game up, and Rupp goes to second base. It's a 2-2 game here in the 5th inning. Well, Nava gets a sacrifice fly on that liner.
Daniel Nava, that's looking to go the other way. Fastball, he got it out there, got it the other way. Haniger, I mean, that wasn't close.
It wasn't close. It had a lot on it. But
yeah, good velocity.
It was not close.
Good exit velo.
And Galvis whacks that one right past Juan Samuel, and it's 0-1. Sammy doesn't even blink. Rupp's now at second base because the throw got away.
Got way away.
Yep, so that'll be an error charge to Haniger. And Galvis fouls it back again. I know you know this, but you better be on your toes up here. Some of these foul balls are awfully close.
I got my hands in my pocket, so it's just going to hit me in the face.
Line drive, base hit it to right field. Rounding third, heading for home is Rupp. Here's the throw to the plate by Haniger. It is in time. He is out at home plate. The Phillies do tie it up, but Haniger gets an outfield assist after making an error. We'll head to the bottom of the fifth. When they come to Seattle, they go to Pikes to see the fish and to see them throw the fish around. In fact, we were out there today and they were throwing them around. There's the market. You can get all kinds of things, from spices to donuts to, of course, plenty of fish. There's plenty of each. Let's take a listen in.
Hands are up like this. TJ! TJ!
Murph, were you at all worried that you weren't going to catch that fish?
Oh, yes, I was. Yeah, I saw a couple people drop them, a couple people catch them. But yeah, I believe me, I probably wouldn't have sent it along to Jeff Halleckman, our producer, had I dropped it.
That was great. It is pretty neat when you walk by there. I know people have seen it on television. It's on, so many national broadcasts for football, baseball. When folks come here to Seattle, but it is a pretty neat place. They've got some great food. The people are very nice, and it's pretty cool to watch them do that because they do it throughout the day. Anytime somebody buys a fish or buys an assortment of fish, they'll do it. You can donate some of that fish too. You can buy it and then donate it, and that's how sometimes you'll be able to see it.
I used to have one problem with what I just witnessed on TV.
What was that, John?
Murph, you need to go find Bull and figure out why he cut you from the baseball team.
It's amazing, isn't it, John?
That was a hell of a play you made right there.
Speaking of good plays, how about Franco right there on a ball hit by Haniger?
I'll take Murph's over that one.
You think so?
Yeah. It's a fish.
I thought the best thing was Murph's eyes, how wide his eyes were.
Those are slippery little suckers. So, yeah, you got to keep your eye on the fish, as they say.
Hey, one thing about Maikel Franco, when he wants to show off that cannon, he's got one to throw with. That was a Great play, nice 360 turn. Had that shoulder pointed right at Tommy Joseph. Perfect throw to get Haniger.
By the way, guys, speaking of cannons, getting back to Jamie Moyer's arm.
Yeah.
We gave him an extra 1,600 strikeouts in our last report.
He was appreciative of that.
Yeah,
by the
I know
way.
he was. I'm sure he's going to thank me when I run into him again. But the 2,441 career strikeouts is what Jamie Moyer had, not quite 4,000. So
all right.
Just accuracy. That's what we're about here.
I don't think he'd be upset if you said he wasn't totally a strikeout
No,
pitcher.
I don't think Jamie would be, but many other people were. So we're just correcting that.
Oh, with one man down, Valencia, the batter, it's 0-2. He went down on a curveball his last time.
Yeah, I tell you, just watching that pitch right there, that Aaron Nola just throw 0-2. Valencia held up, but that ball wasn't close to home plate, but yet Valencia still had to check his swing. He ain't picking up that breaking ball.
Would you throw it again?
Absolutely.
Well, they do. It's a little too far outside, 2-2.
You throw him a breaking ball, it doesn't have to be a strike, but those two were right there were really non-competitive, as some of these pitchers like to say. It was a non-competitive pitch, which means when it left his hand, it was a ball.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Valencia. They throw a curve again, and this one off the glove of Maikel Franco. And Valencia on his way to second. The throw by Nava is offline, and he gets in there standing. Well, probably a play that Maikel should have made if he didn't back up on it. It did take a hop, but he probably should have had it.
Well, we said one of the keys to the game is knock the ball down. Not only did he not get in front of it, not only didn't he charge it on a high hop and try to get it on a short hop, but he tried to catch it off to the side, and Valencia gets into second base because he was, hustling down the line.
Well, that is only the second hit, and they have scored it a hit. The second hit.
That's a double.
It is a double. Dyson takes strike one. The shame of it too is we highlighted how good a play the first one was for Maikel. That has been a play that's been problematic for him this year. I think that is the 3rd or 4th time where he's backed off.
Yeah, when you play the middle or corner infield, when you start backing up on balls, they're going to eat you alive because they have topspin on it. That second hop's going to get to you quicker. That's why you got to charge it and try to catch it on a short hop.
Also 1 strike to Dyson. Dyson walked and scored after the home run from Segura back in the 3rd. Oh, and 2. By the way, the play at the plate where Cameron Rupp was thrown out, this was awfully close. Zunino got him on the elbow. Watch the glove move right there. And then Cameron dove down toward the plate. It was very close. Zunino had plenty of time to tag him and even get in front of him a little bit more after making the catch.
That confusion of the block rule or not, though, sometimes he's. Does anyone really know what the rule is?
I think they have a basic understanding, but it does change. Whether it's an infield hit, the catcher can block the plate if it's an infield ball. I think that's where it gets a little cloudy.
Yeah, so what happens if they're in a shift?
And
the guy bobbles,
shallow right?
Yeah, and the second baseman bobbles one in shallow right, and the guy in second tries to score, and he throws home. Is that an infield throw?
I would think not. But it's open for interpretation.
Yeah, just make it difficult on everyone.
Nola steps back. Nobody covering second with Valencia there. Take another look at it. So Cameron was pretty good distance away, and Zunino had time to get to it. Credit Cameron because he got creative with his slide. Yeah,
and elusive and Cameron Rupp probably aren't things you hear too often.
Not all the time. Dyson down looking. 7 strikeouts for Nola.
The catcher, number 3, Mike Zunino.
That's it. One he starts at him and brings back. That was elevated. Pretty good pitch to hit, but
Do you like that pitch for against a right-hander if you started off the plate on the outside?
yeah, I don't know why they don't do it more. You know, they just throw it like you're throwing it to a lefty, but throw it to a righty because you know you're going to give up on it. A righty sees a ball a foot off the plate, they're not going to offer at it.
Ball on the inside corner, 0-1 to Zunino. He popped out his first time up. Be a little careful with him. He does have power, as we mentioned. 10 home runs, 9 since coming back from the minor leagues.
Put this guy on. Segura last at bat hit that 2-run homer. Walked and hit a homer, so you know he's seeing the ball pretty well.
Yeah, it came in 3 for 21 on this homestand, but no doubt comfortable against the Phils.
You have the ability to make people that way. No?
No, I think you're right. Particularly since the 1st of May.
Yeah, we've made some career-changing.
A foul over the first base dugout. It evens it up at 2-2. Little youngster caught that ball off a deflection. Pretty cool. There's Valencia at second base. He had a hustling double with 1 out here in the 5th.
Tommy Joseph over there on the right side all by himself.
They were trying to get that one to come back. It didn't get all the way back, though. You're a believer that you have to go after Zunino here because of the way Segura's been.
Well, and again, Zunino's been swinging a hot bat this month and a big RBI bat. You got a runner in scoring position, but I think you're more susceptible to fooling him right here with a breaking ball or a changeup than you would be starting a fresh at bat with Segura.
Inside ball 4.
Tried it.
Yep, that is walk number 3. Gene Segura gave us our Toyota turning point back in the 3rd.
Valencia on second base. Got a fastball pretty much center and drove that ball to right field. That's our Toyota turning point of the game so far.
So far. Phils came back and tied it in their half of the 5th inning, but now
put a drubbing on him.
with 2 sacrifice flies. But now it's Segura who has walked and homered.
I'm sorry, Dyson was on second base or on first base when he hit the homer.
A little different speed.
It must be all the coffee. Don't they drink coffee up here?
Yeah, they do.
A lot of it.
Here in San Francisco, the 2 leaders of in the country. What a notice, Segura.
grunge bands, right? Bands.
Grunge bands. A lot of cherries.
And thankfully for us,
yeah,
nice, beautiful weather.
Yeah, it has turned out to be a beautiful day, and it's gone into a beautiful night here in Seattle. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Segura. Curveball misses in. That's where he's missed these last couple of times with that curveball.
He's releasing it a little bit early. He's not getting that good downward pull toward the outside corner. And that's a dangerous pitch if someone sees it out of his hand. That one that hangs up middle end to right-handed hitters.
Fastball right down the middle of the plate, 2-2.
What do you think he was looking for?
I don't know. I would have thought fastball.
He just threw a breaking ball that hung on the inside part of the plate. That pitch is pretty much perfectly down the center of the plate.
Little dribbler to the right of the mound, picked up by Nola, and he throws out Segura. Good play because he had Cameron Rupp rumbling right past him. 1-3 on the putout, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 men left. Philly of the week has been the most effective relief pitcher in the National League 3 months into the season. Pat came to Philadelphia with a very solid and consistent career ERA of 2.93. 30 games into the 2017 season, he is sitting at 0.64, second best in all of baseball among relievers. In addition, he's 3rd in WHIP and 4th in strikeout walk ratio among NL relievers. Neshek has silenced opponents at home with 17 scoreless appearances, the 4th longest streak for the Phils franchise since 1913. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, I think at this point, I think it's easy to say that Pat Neshek is going to be the Phillies representative in the All-Star game with how well he has thrown. Howie Kendrick will lead it off, and he takes a strike.
Yeah, and Howie would have been a really good candidate if he hasn't, he didn't get hurt and missed about, what, a month?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. His numbers have been good, but he's been on the disabled list as he hits that one right on the nose, 1 away.
But I think he would be like a perfect guy for an all-star game on the bench. He can play 3 infield positions and outfield.
No question. But there is Neshek, who I would think he's going to get the call.
I would have to imagine.
I would think Aaron Altair has a chance too, but it's such a crowded outfield around the National League.
Yeah.
it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world if Aaron went. Aaron sends that one to center field, and Dyson got a good jump. And a few steps from the track puts it away for the second out. Time now for our Citizens Bank minor league report. Well, the minor league teams have finished up today. And the minor league players of the week, Cole Irvin from Clearwater is the pitcher of the week. And Giandido Trump is the player of the week, hitting .455 as I mentioned last night. He was also the Eastern League player of the week with 4 homers and 7 RBIs.
What position does he play?
He's in the outfield. He'll move around.
We got a bunch of outfielders, don't we?
Yep. And other minor league news today, Adam Hazley in his first game, he's with the Gulf Coast League Phillies. 3 for 4, a double and a run scored. It's a nice start.
Well, I mean, if you like hitting 750.
Yeah. It's sharply to shortstop, and Segura is up with it. And Paxton has an easy 6th inning. Phillies go down in order. We'll move to the bottom of the 6th here at Safeco. It's a 2-2 game. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By McDonald's, introducing the new signature crafted recipes at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by your local Chevrolet dealers. Bottom of the 6th inning, Phillies 2, Mariners 2. And Aaron Nola will face Ben Gamel, Robinson Cano, and Nelson Cruz. Nola has settled in here recently. Johnny, you see Jamie Moyer's in the booth. Wrong way.
Well, he's got a. You can't sneak up on me like that when you get my age.
Well, Randy Johnson did the other day.
Yeah, I guess for 6'10" guy can. Jamie can too. Hi, Jamie. How are you, bud?
Jamie, I want to give you a headset so you can say hello to the Delaware Valley. Get your reading glasses on. You're ready to go. All right, can you hear everybody now?
I can.
How's it going?
Good.
Yeah?
Good.
We didn't know if we'd see you here in Seattle.
No,
what are we doing here?
I was doing something upstairs here tonight in one of the suites, and just came in for a visit. Just happened to be the Phillies are in town.
That's exactly right. We did a fact about you tonight.
What was that?
When Seattle and the Phillies played, and you gave up.
Had to be a home run.
Gave up a home run.
Right? That's what I did.
Well, yeah, you did that, but kind of won a lot of games
Phillies
too.
in Toronto played. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It was supposed to be in Toronto, and it was in Philadelphia.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
We sort of theorized about, it wasn't a big deal for you that you gave up all those home runs. We had a shirt made
there you
for
go.
you. Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's only
good.
one run, right?
Yeah. And you get another ball back usually.
Yeah.
It's awful nice of them.
So how's things going?
Good.
Yeah?
Great. Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Family good?
Everybody's good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Enjoyed watching Aaron Nola pitch here tonight a little bit?
Yeah. Different size ballpark here, between here and Citizens Bank.
A little different size ballpark.
Yeah. It's nice. You got the roof open, sun's still out.
Beautiful day.
Yeah, it's when the sun's out here, it is beautiful.
Yeah, we just had 4 days in Phoenix where I think it got, what, 110, 112 was the coldest. The coldest.
Yeah.
Scorpions,
Playing
spider.
golf?
No.
By the way, John, the way Jamie is standing right now for our shot is sometimes how he broadcasts games with us. This is how he kept himself limbered up and stretched out.
Hey, you never know. Never know when you get another chance.
Think you could still pitch?
No.
Good.
Hey, by the way, speaking of pitch, did you see Larry Anderson throw out the first pitch tonight?
I did.
It's a cannon.
Yeah. Down the hall.
Oh, you did?
What? What? You got a Mariner uniform? Oh, that's right. I forgot. You play with the Mariners,
Number
Larry.
39.
Yeah.
You got to get him up into the Ring of Honor with you.
There you go.
Yeah, look, he's
There
still
he
wearing the jersey.
Yeah, he's proud of it.
He's like a kid. He's going to go to sleep with it.
But it's funny. He'll like just randomly toss it. Yeah, you know, when we had Gaylord, and I'm like, oh my God, how old are you? Like you think he doctored his birth certificate? He's got to be 75.
Well, Nola's going to get a trip from Cameron Rupp here. All right, so you're in town. You have an event with the Mariners.
Yeah.
Are you here for both games, or are you heading out?
No, I'm actually going. Our little guy's playing in a tournament in Branson, Missouri. So I'm heading there tonight.
Branson.
All right, good.
Back to Branson.
All right, everything's good though. Foundation's good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
Very cool. Well, it's always
How's
good to
Murph?
see
Is Murph around?
Murph is around. Murph, we're talking
Where
to
is
Jamie
he?
up here.
I can hear that. Did you tell him I gave him an extra 1,600 strikeouts?
I didn't tell him that.
Oh, I like it, Murph.
Yeah, you know, that's what I do.
You
I just hand them out.
You became a flamethrower
Oh,
with
boy.
one comment from
Scary.
Greg Murphy.
1600.
John knows better than that.
1,600 he added on. You know.
That's how much I like Jamie.
Yeah, the Hawk will never die, Murph.
That's right, Murph. I like it.
2-0 to Cano is in there for a strike. It's 2-1.
Can I ask you? I need some advice. I know.
Oh boy.
Did Murph speak to you? Because he blows me off every chance he gets. He won't let me get my emotions out.
Well, you know, I'm trying to figure. Going to do his bike race with him.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. There you
But
go.
you know, ever since he started this chia seed diet, he's just been a miserable human.
Well, see,
won't
that's
communicate.
probably the difference because he wasn't on that diet when I was here.
He's got a day and a half left of
Like your
no
life.
sugar. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Don't believe a word
and
of
the
it,
first
Jamie.
day off is an off day in New York.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, we have assigned some babysitters for him.
Quick toss over to first.
Make sure Uber is working very well on his phone.
Make sure his Concur is up to date so he has expenses to put in because he hasn't put expenses in 3 weeks.
5 bottles of scotch, Murph.
Oh, when I fall hard.
Some things never change, huh?
No, some things never change, including Concur. John needs some help with
I
Concur.
don't know how to use it. Uh-oh.
Robinson Cano lines one to right field. There's a base hit. On his way to third base is Gamble. And that'll put runners on first and third with nobody out.
Did you guys sit in the outfield this year yet?
Not yet. It's coming up.
You going to do it?
We are going to do it.
They're waiting
July
for July.
26th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I don't
Where
sweat
are you
enough.
sitting?
So we're going to be by the bullpen in center field. You know,
Okay.
You know where the Turkey Hill sign
Yeah,
is?
yeah.
Right there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you're ever going to beat the opportunity. The first time we went, I'm sure you've seen it.
I have.
You know, that was pretty awesome.
I think it's either yesterday or today was the anniversary
Oh,
of
really?
that ball. Yeah.
They still have your glove in the Hall of Fame. And
It's sitting on top of my desk in
Okay.
my office.
That's right. You made a catch, didn't
yeah.
I did.
Oh yeah.
Glove in the-
One-handed.
Glove in the ball went to the Hall of
One-handed
Fame.
though.
you? You don't have an extra glove you can loan me, do you? They're all righty.
No, not with me.
I don't have a
I can
glove.
get you a lefty glove.
See if Frank's got one back in the equipment room.
He might have one he tried to burn.
1 ball and no strikes. So we were in Arizona, and Randy Johnson came up and surprised him in
nice.
the booth. Yeah.
Nice.
Took 3 photos without John knowing.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yep.
I did not know he was.
Oh yeah, he's a.
But it's easy to mistake, you know, to lose sight of a 6'10" guy.
Right. Right. He's a avid photographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge into it.
Yeah. So this is 3 years ago today. Wow, it was today.
Yeah. Look out! Look out! One hand. Look.
Woo!
Where's the other? The right hand needs to be up there, Tom. Two
hands.
Right? Two hands.
You're lucky I got the glove on.
And then you threw it back?
Jamie made me throw it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me to throw it. I did get it back, though, eventually.
You got to, when you're in the outfield, you got to play that. That's what they do in every ballpark, right? When the opponent hits a home run.
That's exactly right. In fact, yesterday, a ball went in the pool in Arizona, and the Phillies fans were out there in the party. They went into the pool, and they threw it back. Yeah.
Well,
the tradition
I'm going to go back in the past. I remember a day, I think it was Mr. John Kruk's last day.
Yeah. Were you in Baltimore then?
Yes, sir. And the rumor had it that when he gets a hit, he's calling timeout. They're going to send a pinch runner out. Mr. Kruk politely ran off the field, right down the steps of the tunnel, right in the clubhouse, and went home. Right? Am I correct in that?
You are absolutely 100% correct.
So you were with the Orioles at that time?
Yes, I was.
You didn't give up the hit, did you?
No, I didn't.
No. Scott Erickson.
Scott Erickson.
I had a little help too. Doug Jones was your closer then.
Yep.
And I told Jones on Friday, I think, I said, look, when I get a hit, I'm retiring, but they don't look like I'm going to get a hit, so help me out. So Friday I didn't get a hit. Saturday I didn't get a hit. And I saw him after the game, and I told him, I said, Scott Erickson, good guy? He goes, yeah, he's a good guy. I said, tell him to throw me a cookie, man. I can't hit nothing. It's awful. He said, all right, I'll ask him. He said, but when you come up to bat your first at bat, I'll tip my hat if he's going to. First guy gets a hit, second guy gets a hit. Frank Thomas has a helmet on. He's going to be the one pinch run for me if I ever got on. Not many people get pinch run for by Frank.
By Hall of Famers.
And here I'm walking up, and I don't see Jones. And I'm like, well, here's another out. He comes flying down. He tips his hat, and Scott did. He threw about an 80-mile-an-hour fastball, and I got
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but I was looking for 90. And I got jammed. Hit a little blooper over short. I'm like, I can go home.
That one's pulled foul down the right field line. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Where was Jones? He was in the bullpen, and he came running down.
Yeah, he came running. Well, he's a closer. He didn't go down there in the first inning.
Right.
This is top of the first.
Could have played the rest of the game.
For what?
Keep Frank Thomas out of the game for the Orioles. I don't know.
Frank looked like he was. Frank looks like he really wanted some action that day. Day game.
Yeah.
What, July, August, about 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Frank wanted a big part of that game.
Well, it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Seager, who is 0 for 2 with runners at first and third here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Got fouled away.
Our first base coach was Ron Jackson, Papa Jack. And Frank started to come out, and I'm like, I wanted to talk to Cal because he was right in the middle of the streak, right? Or near the end of the streak. So I wanted to go, wish him good luck. And Rafael Palmeiro was trying to talk me into not retiring.
While you were at first base?
Yeah. And Papa Jack's like, well, man, what the heck is going on? I said, oh, crap, I'm done, Papa Jack. What? He didn't know. We had a kid, they got called up. I can't remember his name. Every day he would ask me, because this plan was concocted in Boston, 5 days prior to that hit.
Out towards second base, that could be 2. There's 1 and 2. 4-6-3 double play. Well, Jamie, we appreciate you being able to pull some stories out of Johnny here.
I love it.
It's great seeing you, man.
Great seeing you.
Yeah. Good luck in Branson.
Yeah. Thank you. A lot of fun there. John, great seeing you.
Tell everybody you have 1,600 more strikeouts. Thanks
there you go.
to Greg
I like
Murphy.
that. Thanks, Murph.
We'll be back. Well, even in Seattle, he's great. The fanatic out here getting a chance to entertain the crowd. Our Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. We move to the 7th inning. Ty Kelly and Daniel Nava each with sac flies against James Paxton. That has helped the Phillies tie this game up. Gene Segura has hit a home run to originally give them a 2-0 lead. As Maikel Franco sends one to the air to deep left field. Gamble going back. It is gone! A solo home run from Maikel Franco right into the hat of Luis Garcia. And the Phillies take a 3-2 lead. And Alan Bloom of Pennsauken, you've just won $300 thanks to Maikel Franco in the McDonald's home run jackpot.
Yeah, we talked about Maikel Franco all year, how pitching him away, he's had trouble with pitches away. He doubled on a pitch in. Now he hits a home run on a pitch in. Beautiful swing. And Cam Perkins tries to bunt and pops it up. But anyway, Maikel Franco, you know, maybe he took Freddie's words to heart. Maybe he said, you know what, maybe I am part of the problem. But that's a beautiful swing. No pull off. His hand stayed back. Paxton seemed to enjoy it a whole lot. He made a mistake in to Franco. And like I said, you know, the way his approach has been this year, he's had struggled with pitches away, especially off speed away. But he got one middle in and didn't miss it.
Well, now 10 home runs on the year for Franco as Rupp takes a strike. It's 0-1. And the Phillies have a lead here in the top of the 7th inning after trailing at 2-0. 0-1 to Cameron Rupp. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cameron has walked twice today. Boy, Jamie looks good. He just doesn't age, does he?
No, it's sickening.
Swing and miss, 1-2.
I think we came up same year, 86, I think.
Sounds right.
I think Jamie came up then, and yeah, he
doesn't age.
He's got what, 5 kids? 4 or 5 kids? 7? Oh my gosh.
Swing and miss, and Cameron down on strikes. And 2 outs. That is the 8th strikeout for Paxton.
Yeah, I just have trouble with people like that don't age.
No, he looks good. He's as he said, he's headed to a amateur tournament for his youngest son. Ty Kelly fouls it back. Bullpen action. Tony Zick is warming up. Tapper foul. And 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Was he really serious about like going on a bike ride?
Well, I mean, if you want to get close to Murph has a bike ride every year. 9 strikeouts for Paxton. Maybe get you a sidecar. Maikel Franco, he gave one a ride. That started off this 7th inning. A solo shot, his 10th of the year. That has given the Phils a 3-2 lead. That's a nice grab by Luis Garcia. question, answer. All right, here's the question one more time, John. Who holds the Mariners' record for consecutive scoreless innings by a pitcher?
Well, after considerable wrong answers,
Right.
I came up with Mark Langston.
Mark Langston is correct. 34 scoreless innings in 1988.
You know, I went with Randy.
Which I think would be the obvious choice for the Mariners.
Bosio.
Yep.
Aaron Seeley.
Aaron Seeley was a good one.
And then it dawned on me, Mark Langston.
Mark Langston was as good a left-hander during his time as
Great
you will
story.
find.
I played against Mark in rookie ball.
In
So,
Walla Walla?
In Walla Walla, where he was in Bellingham, Washington. And the sun would set right over the center field fence.
Haniger swings at the first pitch, and Aaron Altero will get to it. One away.
So when you go up to hit, they said, you know, if you can't see, you tell the umpire, and we'll delay the game until the sun goes down. So, all right.
No
So I
way,
led
really?
off. I was leading off. First pitch, Mark Langston threw a fastball about 95 right, and I apparently was right down the middle. And I said, I can't see. He goes, all right, let's try one more. You know, right down the middle. Like, man, I can't see. All right, one more. You know, so he throws another one down the middle, strike three. I'm like, you gotta be kidding. I mean, I cursed that guy like a dog. So our next hitter comes up, steps in the box. Hey, ump, I can't see. Hold on. Let's call Tony Gwynn. That's when you know you're like the chewing gum on the bottom of a shoe.
He knew he
to
was
an
a future Hall of
organization.
Famer.
Yeah.
Check swing by Valencia.
Tony didn't even have a pitch thrown, and he said, hey, I can't see. Okay. I'm like,
How hard do you think Langston was throwing back then?
throwing in the mid-90s. That's probably why my average in rookie ball is 240, because of that at-bat right there. Scarred me for the rest of the year.
1 ball, 1 strike to Valencia. Another breaking ball, 1-2.
Breaking ball's been an effective pitch against Valencia. Seems like he's got the nice pull-offs going today. And that's what, you know, you hope our young catchers, our young pitchers will figure out how to read hitters.
And a fastball, they run that toward the outer part of the plate. Pretty close, 2-2.
Yeah.
Aaron last time out went 7 1/3. He has 1 out here in the 7th inning. Held away.
What it seems like it's a quick strike offense, doesn't it? I mean, the Mariners scored their 2 runs in an inning. Phillies scored 2 in 1, and then that home run was. Garcia and Milner in the bullpen.
Yep, Obi Milner.
Well, he's a slight-built young man, isn't he?
He sure is. And a base hit now for Valencia. That's his 2nd hit of the evening. He had a 1-out double his last time up. Friday, July 7th, when the Phillies take on the Padres. That's a 6:35 start. Don't forget, there's post-game fireworks sponsored by Xfinity. And we're turning back the clocks to the Phillies centennial celebration of 1983. A pregame 80s tribute band will be on Ashburn Alley. The always popular retro-themed player headshots on Fanavision. Get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Bullpen action for the Mariners. Nick Vincent has jumped up and started to warm. Dyson has walked it. He has struck out. He takes a curveball and whacks it foul, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, I just wish they would have tried one more breaking ball
To Valencia.
Yeah,
Because they threw the show me fastball
away.
right. And if they had thrown a breaking ball away again, they might have gotten him.
I would think there was a better opportunity to get him in that fastball down the middle. Like I can speak from experience when you see Aaron's pitches by innings. Not bad, really. 101 in the 7th here with 1 out.
Inside part of the plate, 1-2. Now he got him the last time by running the 2-seamer off the hip. Dyson's a real tough guy to try to double up, so maybe you go for that strikeout.
Yeah, I think I'd throw that same pitch. I just think if you locate it well enough, even if he hits it, he's going to hit it foul.
And he throws a curveball.
I just know there's at certain times in the year there were certain pitches against certain pitchers that I had no shot at, and if they threw me 3, I was out. You know, you just hope that they're really dumb and they don't throw you 3 in a row. I mean, there were some times where, like, breaking ball, sneak a fastball. Before the pitch halfway there, you're thinking in your head, thank you.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, he did try to get it on the inner half, and he just missed with it. 2-2. Aaron shook off curve and went to that fastball. Short lead over at first for Valencia. Up foul. His ratio's been good here today. He's walked the 4 batters. He's struck out 8, but he's at 105 pitches now here in the 7th inning. And he's got a battle going on with the number 8 hitter, Gerard Dyson.
Dyson there choked up a little more than what this at bat started at. That's a we're going to protect this inside pitch.
And a line drive base hit into right field. Valencia will hold up at second. That puts runners on first and second now for Zunino. Have you listened to CSN's podcasts? Well, the Sixers are back. Relive the NBA draft and look ahead to a team everyone is talking about on Holding Court. Subscribe now on Apple or Google Play. CSN Podcasts, all Philly, all the time. Well, it looks like it's still Nola's batter. Zunino, that is. Bob McClure is at the top step of the dugout. As Cameron Rupp gets back behind home plate, Bob slid back behind the rail, so he's not coming out.
Yeah, you know, at some point you have to let these young guys figure it out for themselves.
Absolutely. Runners on first and second with 1 out here in the 7th. Zunino has walked. He's also popped out to shortstop. But a curveball popped up foul. One may have hung a little too much.
Yeah, I think it hung, but Zunino, you can tell he saw it, but there was that slight hesitation, and just that slight hesitation caused him to look like he got it more off the hands than off the barrel and foul that baby off. Or man, he acted was going to get hit by that ball, or some fan out in the left field seats was.
It's 0-2.
One thing you know is Valencia's not a bad runner, but we know Dyson's a burner. This ball gets hit anywhere in a gap, those are going to be behind.
Took the lead on the home run by Michael Franco after they scored 2 runs on a sacrifice fly and then had Cameron Rupp thrown out at the plate trying to score on a base hit. Freddie Galvis. A little more bite on the curveball.
Yeah, it's starting to tumble now, not have that sharp break that he had earlier in the game. It could be fatigue, it could be two breaking balls right there that he should have been hammered. I think Aaron Nola, I know Aaron Nola got away with him. Try to get a fastball in and see if he can't get a grounder to Franco.
Upstairs 2-2. This may want to be his last batter anyway. Segura's on deck. Maybe he can roll that double play ball. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies nursing a 1-run lead. Here at the bottom of the 7th.
What I like that they're letting Aaron at 111 pitches fend for himself here. You know, if he's going to be one of your top of the rotation guys moving forward, he's going to have to figure out how to do this.
Swing and a miss. He got him. He tied him up with 90 up and in. Now 2 outs. Still some heavy lifting though. That's 9 strikeouts for Nola, and that may be his final batter because Pete Maccannon's coming out.
Well, we said it with all the slow stuff he was throwing and pitches away. You think, can he tie him up inside? You know, if that pitch was down, he might have got the grounder to Franco for the double play. He ran it up and punched out Zunino for a big second out of this inning.
Well, Pete has not taken the baseball from Aaron Nola yet.
I think he's going to leave it up to Aaron.
All right. Nola's not going to come out of a ball game. You probably have to take the baseball from him. He's just not that kind of guy.
Yeah. But again, I love it. I like I said, you know, our chance of getting into postseason this year have dwindled greatly since the opening day.
So let these young guys try to figure it out.
I think at some point you just got to let them run. You know, now you know, moving forward, you know what? He has some bulldog in him in the 7th inning, late in the game, over 100 pitches. But it also proves to Aaron, you know, wow, I can pitch it over 100, you know, 115 pitches.
Well, now Segura, who has homered tonight, he's 1 for 2. He tapped one to the right of the mound his last time up. Curveball hit toward third. Diving stop by Cal Franco to his feet. Throws to first in time. And the inning is over. Maikel Franco has made 2 very good plays today over third base. And that was a big one to get Aaron Nola out of trouble here in the 7th inning. First pitch swinging was Gene Segura. And Franco was able to take care of it. And we'll go to the 8th inning. local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. Phillies lead at 3-2 as we go to the top half of the 8th inning. Got a clutch home run from Maikel Franco. Time now for our Hyundai defensive plays of the game. And we will begin with Robinson Cano bouncing into a double play.
Yeah, routine 4-6-3 to help Aaron Nola in that first inning, and then he gets this one here in the second inning off the bat of Kyle Seager, and then Maikel Franco with a unbelievable play that could have possibly scored 2 runs. Instead, let Seattle go back out in the field with still leading 3-2, still behind 3-2.
Yeah, and Aaron Nola's night's most likely done now after being over 100 pitches, getting that big out to wrap it up. 7 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs. James Paxton did not pitch badly tonight. He also struck out 9, and his evening is done after 7. As Tony Zych will come in. This will be the 26th game for Zych. And he will face the top of the order, Daniel Nava, Freddie Galvis, and Howie Kendrick. A couple positives here is that Nava and Galvis will each bat left-handed against the righty. Bob McClure continuing to chat with Aaron Nola and Cameron Rupp. These are 2 solid outings in a row for Aaron, where he looked like the pitcher the Phillies drafted and brought up and did very well his rookie year. He was injured last year.
And you know, maybe this was just, you know, his last couple starts, he said, you know what, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go as hard as I can for as long as I can. And, you know, sometimes when you have an injury, you miss significant time. You know, sometimes you're a little tentative, and maybe he's starting to get that feeling that Freddie had when he made those comments, like, I'm tired of losing. I'm tired of watching us lose. I'm tired of our starting pitchers not performing well. You know, maybe this is his way of saying, I'm taking that step. Who's coming with me?
He's a very proud kid. There's no doubt about it. He hasn't struggled at all during his baseball career. First at LSU, and then in the minor leagues, and his first year with the Phillies. Struggled last year after the injury. Struggled at the beginning of this year. But has kind of found something again. Found command again. That's something that Bob McClure, no doubt, is happy to see. One ball, 2 strikes to Daniel Nava. Nava sends one to the air to deep right center field. Haniger's going back, and it's off the top of the wall just under the yellow line. And Nava will slide in safely at second. That's his 5th double of the year. I think it's such a huge advantage to have him batting left-handed.
Yeah, without question. And, you know, the thing is, you think about how pumped up your dugout is when you have your starting pitcher out there battling his rear end off, and then your third baseman, much maligned third baseman, comes up with a huge play to keep the other team from scoring and tying the game. Look how close that comes from being another run for the Fighting Phils. Look at that. Man, it hit right at the bottom of that yellow line. About 4 or 5 inches from being a home run. And then, you know, now it's like, let's get some more. Let's get some more.
Yeah, Freddie now batting left-handed. Freddie's 1 for 3 in this ball game. He tries to hold up and went around on that inside pitch. Freddie has 6 hits in 20 at-bats during this road trip. That one's back toward the middle, a base hit. Nava to third. He's headed home. And Dyson will not make a throw. The Phils added insurance run. They're on top 4-2. RBI single for Freddie Galvis.
Isn't it amazing how much better your offense looks when your pitcher pitches like Aaron Nola's pitch? It just gives you that extra incentive, that extra boost when your starting pitcher's out there, like I said, going as hard as he can for as long as he can. And This is just a beautiful piece of hit. And Freddie got a fastball up and away, trying to pull the ball to get Nava to third base with less than 2 outs. And the big bonus plan, he gets a base hit and the RBI.
Yeah, Freddie now 2 for 4 of this ball game, 30 RBIs on the year. And now you've got Howie Kendrick. Kendrick, who's hit the ball hard in his last 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 3 though on the night. He takes a breaking ball, 0-1.
Yeah, it's funny because most teams, you know, if you could bring in a reliever, you would want to leave Nava hitting right-handed and Freddie hitting right-handed.
Over toward the right side, he broke his bat, picked up by Cano, and Galvis will get to second. 4-3 on the putout. And with 1 out, Aaron Alter's coming up. Time to get caught up on what's going on around baseball. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thank you, Tom. It's our unlimited baseball break presented by T-Mobile. Adrian Beltre's heating up for the Rangers. He has homered in 3 straight games. Today's home run was a game winner in the 9th inning and career home run number 450 for Adrian Beltre. Beltre is one of 3 active players with 450 or more, Miguel Cabrera and Albert Pujols being the others. And some good news and some bad news down on the farm. Of course, we already did our minor league report, but here's an addendum. The Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs playing today. Scott Kingery in his 2nd game with the Iron Pigs. How about 2 home runs for Kingery in that game? That is certainly good to see. And Dylan Cousins also hit a home run today, his 18th of the season for him. However, the bad news of it, the Pigs fall to Pawtucket 14-5. They allow 20 hits in that game, which is a club record as well. So they give up the game. They lose 14-5 to Pawtucket, but some power numbers, which was good to see, guys.
Yeah, I think that the way that Kingery has transitioned these last couple of years and the power numbers have evolved. I mean, that's 20 home runs now for this guy. And nobody expected him to be a power hitter, but 20 home runs, counting his numbers at Reading, as Alter has intentionally walked for Tommy Joseph. It's nice to see, and it's only been 2 games, but it's nice to see that he is remain comfortable as he's made the transition from AA to AAA. Tommy Joseph now the hitter with runners on first and second.
Man, if you can play, you can play.
Well, that's true.
And it just, you know, when some of our coaching staff in spring training, I was asking about Kingery, and they brought up he's a poor man's Chase Utley, approaches the game the same way Chase did, plays hard every play. I mean, that's not as good a compliment as you can get if you're compared to Chase Utley in any way, shape, or form as a ball player.
Yeah, I think it's also something that's embraced by the Philly fans when you hear that too. Outside and low, 1-1. Tommy has struck out twice. He's grounded out to shortstop. He's got a chance to add another run here with the Phillies on top by 2 in the top of the 8th inning. Zick almost looked like he was dropping down on that.
Started to lean that way and then straighten back up and threw a slider.
Good play by Zunino on that backhand.
Well, got one insurance run. Might be nice to get some more, wouldn't it?
It sure would. Joaquin Benoit warming up in the bullpen. Now the 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2.
Did Joaquin pitch here?
Yes. It seems like he pitched everywhere.
Yeah, he's the Matt Stairs of relief pitchers.
I was thinking the same thing. There's Franco on deck.
So far, he's, along with Aaron Nola, have been the stars of the game.
That is a towering foul ball out toward the upper deck.
I don't know what that was. That was something really slow and really in. Like, I thought that was going to hit Tommy at first. And all of a sudden it's in the upper deck. 500 feet foul.
Ball four. And the bases are loaded. Walks have been an issue for Zick. It is 22 2/3. That's now his 12th walk. Actually making his 13th walk because of the intentional walk. And now the bases are loaded for Maikel Franco, who did this in the 7th inning.
Yeah, Paxton made a mistake with something middle end to McCown. Luis Garcia probably with the defensive play of the game. But that was a beautiful swing, not an overswing, not a pull off. But here's going to be a big at bat because sometimes he gets over anxious. If he swings at a pitch away, could be a double play ball. There's the pitch away, and he pulled off really well.
Now this year with bases loaded, 2 grand slams. Even a fly ball here would do it.
Yeah, or, you know, if he's going to pitch away, shoot one past Valencia at first base.
Goes over toward first base. Valencia comes home for 1. That's all they'll get. Nobody covering first. Well, that was right at Valencia. 3-2 on the put out at the plate. Fielder's choice for Franco. And Odubel Herrera is going to come up to pinch hit for Cameron Perkins. No lefty warming up in the bullpen for the Mariners. Altavilla is warming up, the right-hander. All right, so Odubel's going to pinch hit.
Yeah, I'm sure Odubel's pretty quick when he gets called into pinch hit, right?
Well, he has as much time as he needs. He's like a pitcher coming in with an injured hurler. Mike Everett just said, "All right, let's go." Odubel 9 for 22 as a pinch hitter. I think this is a good matchup for him.
I do too. Well, it is if he's patient. Like you said, Zick can walk guys. I don't know if Franco could have been 2-0 instead of a fielder's choice at first base.
Odubel just getting tonight off. SP today. If there was anything to it, because there was the story that he had fined him. He said, nope, nothing to it, just a night off against a tough lefty. Down low, 1 ball, no strikes. Jim Salisbury talked to Odubel Herrera. You can check out his story on csnphilly.com in connection with the fining and having tonight off to start. And Odubel said that he's got to concentrate more. He's got to slow down, and he's just got to play better. So if there was a message that has been sent the last couple of days, we talked about it. Sometimes it takes players a little longer to absorb it. It seems like the message has gotten to Odubel.
Well, again, we keep bringing it up, and I hate to bring up contracts, but he's one of the only guys on this team, if not the only guy, as far as I know, that's got a multi-year deal. So there's a certain responsibility that goes with that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Out towards center field, and Dyson is there. And he makes the catch. Phillies leave him loaded here in the 8th inning. They do get a run on the RBI single by Freddie Galvis. We'll move to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Phils 4 and the Mariners 2. Saturday, July 8th, and the Toyota Pete Rose Bobble figurine on Friday, August 11th. That's for all fans. It's a special offer of $19.80 per ticket in honor of the 80 World Series champions. You must order both games together as a bundle. Visit Phillies.com/Toyota bundle for more information. Things are kind of quiet outside Safeco Field. Not so much inside, where the Phillies lead it 4-2, and they'll go to their bullpen. Aaron Altair moves from center field to right field with Odubel Herrera staying in the ballgame. And he's out in center. And Joaquin Benoit, who has a 4.25 earned run average this year. He is on to pitch this 8th inning, facing Ben Gamel. Gamel, Robinson Cano, and Nelson Cruz. Those are the scheduled hitters. Gamel walked his last time up after striking out his first 2 times. Way outside. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Aaron Nola did it a couple of times. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. One ball, one strike. That one goes into an over our fan group that Murph talked to.
Looks like one of our fans got a good jump on it though and got it. Sure Murph didn't offer any help up there.
Or Bull. You know Scott Palmer didn't.
No. Oh gosh. No.
Swing and a miss. Gamble down on strikes. And one out here in the 8th inning. 10 strikeouts tonight for Phillies pitching, 9 by Nola.
Benoit got ahead of him with that fastball, threw that nice changeup. I mean, he's really got a good changeup. Threw that one there, got Gamble to way out in front of that for the swing and miss. It's nice knowing that Cano's coming up and he's not the tying run.
Yeah, now you got to do the same thing with Cruz, who's on the on-deck circle.
And with Seager.
Yeah, Cano is 1 for 3. You want to keep going down?
Well, we might as well. If they don't get anyone else on, we're going to win.
Yeah. Swing and a miss, 0-1, 96 on that fastball. Yeah, you are right about that.
Isn't this game simple?
It is. I think you make it simple.
I think at some point you have to be pretty simple to play it.
Here's Diaz in the bullpen. He's the closer for the Mariners.
Do they know something we don't?
I don't know.
They just getting him an inning.
I think they're hoping. He's got a 0-2. Articles in the paper those last couple of days about how comfortable Robinson Cano feels here in Seattle. They're signing a lucrative contract. It's taken a couple of years. That comfort level. Change up outside, 1-2. Cano since 2010, 4th on that list. One-two pitch, fouled away, and it remains 1-2. There's Jerry DiPoto, the general manager of the Seattle Mariners, New Jersey guy. He and Mark Leiter both went to Toms River North High School. Jerry pitched in the big leagues and eventually made his way here to Seattle after being in Anaheim with the LA Angels. 1-2 strikes to Cano. In the dirt, 2-2.
I think that pitch right there is a big difference why Robinson Cano is the hitter he is. And even though Gammel's hitting great, you know, he's hitting over 340 entering this game. Cano's only at 280. But such a difference the way he took that changeup from Benoit with 2 strikes and how Gammel was impatient, swung at it.
And now he reaches at that changeup.
We appreciate it.
And Franco makes the catch. Different location of that changeup though than the one that
that one was a
previous one.
strike, so he had to swing. I mean, close enough to be a strike. Yeah, I mean, that's right at the bottom of the strike zone. So it's a perfect pitch by Benoit. And sometimes that's, I don't care how good a hitter you are, it's all you can do with that pitch. That's a great out, too, because now Nelson Cruz isn't the tying run. See how this all works, Tom?
I love the synergy. I love it. He has struck out 3 times tonight. And he lines that one out to right field, but right at Aaron Altair. And the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Mariners. A clean bottom of the 8th for Joaquin Benoit. We've played 8. We'll go to the 9th. Phillies on top, 4-2. The veteran celebration presented by Toyota on Tuesday, July 4th. It's the Phillies versus the Pirates game, a special 4:05 time. Presentation of state flags, all service color guard, and honoring of the U.S. veterans during pregame ceremonies beginning at 3:30 Eastern time. Boy, that is a beautiful look at the skyline here in Seattle as we move to the top of the 9th inning. As Edwin Diaz will be the new pitcher for the Mariners, so maybe he is getting an inning of work trying to keep this at a 2-run ball game. He has 12 saves and 14 opportunities, but his team trails at 4-2. 38 strikeouts in 29 2/3. He has given up a lot of base runners, though.
Yeah, the only way he'll get a save in this one is if they change the rules real quick.
I think it's going to take more than a phone call.
Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see how we can come up with another rule to give guys numbers.
Here's Cameron Perkins to lead it off.
I don't even think the sabermetricians can figure that one out right here to get him a save.
They might. Cameron Rupp, by the way, not Perkins.
Yeah.
Rupp, Kelly, and then Nava.
No way, Cameron.
And a base hit for Cameron Rupp. He's been on base 3 times tonight. 2 walks, now a single. All right, Ty Kelly coming up. Kelly had a sac fly back in the 5th inning.
I wonder if you bunt him right here to try to get with Nava hitting left-handed and Freddie hitting left-handed, their stronger sides. You wonder if they'll bunt Kelly right here to get Cameron to second base and hopefully more run across the board.
And he does show bunt, takes low. Seager was charging the whole time. And he bunts it back toward the mound. It is a dandy of a bunt. And it's not a great throw by Diaz. It goes into foul territory. Rupp goes to third. He'll stop there. And Kelly to second base. It was kind of like Ramos the other day.
Yeah, but you know, we keep talking about it. You know, of course we've seen it with Odubel not running out balls, and you wait, like you said, 95% of the time it's going to be an out. But you never know when that 5% is going to kick in. First of all, it's a great bunt by Ty Kelly, and you see Kelly how he went hard out of the box, wasn't going to take anything for granted. And when the pitcher Diaz picks up this ball, he just lofts it. I mean, just like I don't know what that was, but whatever it is, we'll take it. But that's why you hustle out of the box every play, just in case. And like I said, it's 90 feet. It's not that hard to run 90 feet hard.
Yeah, just a little bit of pressure that you put on a fielder. It may change the whole complexion of a situation. Here's Daniel Nava. Nava had a double his last time up and scored a run. Had a sac fly back in the 5th. And he takes a fastball at the knees, 0-1.
Maybe these guys read or listened to what Freddie said yesterday. They're taking it to heart, because this is like
this is some clean baseball.
It's yeah, you know, a couple little things here and there, but you know that's going to happen over the course of a season. But the execution, you know, Nava leads off with a double. Freddie pulls the ball. He just so happened to hit it up the middle. To the right side of second base, which he's supposed to do, and get Nava over to third. Well, he gets the RBI. He ends up coming around. I don't know if he did come around and score, but
Nava strikes out, and 1 out.
Just a cleaner game, you know.
Yeah, I think cleaner. That's a good way of putting it. Pete hoping that he can get another run. It's a 2-run lead for Neris right now. The base hit, Kelly should be able to score from second, so it would be 2 more runs. Kick it out of a save situation, but that's okay.
Yeah, we got to take what they're giving us.
Galvis lines one into right field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Kelly will hold up at third. RBI single, 5-2. Freddie Galvis now with 3 straight hits. He has 2 RBIs tonight. I think the other part of Freddie's comments is if you can back it up the next game.
Yes.
It might have a little more meaning too.
I agree 100%. And you know, this is what we've been talking about, and Freddie and I have spoken about this, about, you know, that simple approach, stay on balance, line drive swing. Look, he'll eventually get his home runs. But would you rather see this Freddie that gets 3 base hits, drives in 2 runs, or the Freddie that maybe is 1 for 4 with a solo homer? I like this one better.
Yeah, I think this one contributes more.
It could, but not only does it contribute more, like I said, if he hits 265, 270, the way he plays defense, he's going to make himself a really good living playing for a long time in this league.
1 man down, runners at first and third. Kendrick waits, and a pitch inside, 2-0.
And I firmly believe that, you know, when he's hitting 7th, 8th, that I think sometimes he thinks, you know what, I got the pitcher coming up next. I got to try to drive myself in. And I think that's when he gets that, you know, loopy pop-up swing. But I mean, this is even his outs. You know, the other day at Arizona, he hit, you know, you look in the scorebook and it's a F8, but they were hit hard on a line to the center fielder. That's the swing. I really like this Freddie Galvis.
He's now 8 for 22 on this road trip. So he's been in the middle of things here tonight. Offensively.
I think Freddie, I'd take a big lead. Make Diaz throw over.
Here he goes. Pitch is hit in the air to right field on the run. As Heminger into the crowd makes the catch. Tagging from third is Kelly. The throw to the plate, not in time and way offline. Another run on the sac fly by Howie Kendrick, and it's now a 6-2 ball game.
That's a beautiful thing when you can hit a fly ball, score a run, and because of the bad hamstring, you don't even have to worry about running. The ball was fouled the whole way.
For Howie Kendrick, that is his 14th RBI.
I mean, Gamble makes a heck of a play on this, but you know, this might have been one where you just let it go in the stands because, like I said, he's made one unbelievable throw and two really awful throws.
Yeah, he's fortunate that Galvis didn't take off from first. The throw over. Phillies have gotten 2 runs here against Diaz. Kendrick drives home Ty Kelly.
Pretty good when you can hit a ball. The runner's coming in and you can tell him whether to slide or not.
Yeah, so then the on-deck batter doesn't have to worry about coming out.
Yeah, take an extra swing, Aaron. I got this one. Yeah, good. Add on, baby.
Altair's walked twice tonight. He's 0 for 2. Ground out and a fly out to center. I think Diaz is trying to work on his throws over to first.
Yeah, working. Maybe you should step up in front by home plate and try it.
Slider outside, 1-0.
You know that game, there's only been a handful of games where you look at it and say, wow, you know what, this is fun. Tonight's one of them.
The Chris Sale game, I think, was one of them.
Chris Sale game was a great game. You know, that game they scored.
Galvis with a stolen base.
That game they scored how many runs? You know, off Washington, off of Guthrie.
17.
Yeah, 17. That's you know, that'll happen once a year, maybe twice a year. Not that many runs, of course, but that offensive output. But this is one because of the execution.
Runs outside, 3-0, 96 on that fastball.
I hope Freddie takes this and runs with it. You know, I believe that his comments had something to do with this. Of course, you know, maybe Freddie's a lot smarter and you think, you know, I'll make these comments when Aaron Nola's starting. You know, make me look good. You know, we never had a manager have a team meeting and air us out when our 5th starter was going for a spot starter the next day.
Usually Schilling was scheduled the next day.
Yeah.
Well, now 3-2 to Aaron Altair. Ready goes. Pitches bounced foul past Juan Samuel. And into the camera well.
He's feeling really spry here.
Yes, he is.
Seattle.
Well, tomorrow it's Mark Leiter who goes for the Phillies. Try to build on his last outing, which was the only win on this road trip.
Probably upset he ain't hit.
We were talking
Not
today.
His first hit.
Yeah, we were talking today, and all of a sudden he realized, oh no, I got to go to the pitchers meeting. He's looking around. There's nobody on the field. A high fly ball to deep left field. Gamble going back. It is gone into the back of the Mariners bullpen as the Phillies add 2 more. And on top now, 8-2 here in the top of the 9th inning.
I'd say that their closer's getting some work in.
That is the 13th home run of the year for Altair.
So short and so quick on that hanging breaking ball. And That's what you do with that pitch.
Well, the bench is alive and kicking tonight. Aaron Altair has made this an 8-2 game. Diaz.
This is one of the few times this year I actually like this team. I do, but I mean, you know, you watch, you're like, wow, okay, there is potential here.
Yeah. Yeah, when you put it all together like they have put it together in tonight's ball game, you're right. Well, pitching change with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. We'll be back right after this. Auto Insurance presents Phillies postgame live. Marshall Harris, Ricky Vitalico are standing by to talk about the outburst tonight by this Phil's offense. Also talk about Aaron Nola and what he was able to do for 7 innings. The fact that Pete left him in to try to finish off that 7th inning, which he did. That is all coming up on Phillies postgame live. Michael Franco had a big night so far. We'll talk about that a little bit. And here is Dan Altavilla, who is 1-1 with an ERA of 5.72. Facing Tommy Joseph, who's 0 for 3. And he throws a slider for ball 1. None of those runs that Diaz gave up are earned because of his error.
Now, how is that? Like, that's a rule they have to change. I understand if his defense makes an error, he can't help that.
But if it's his
but
error.
If his error, he can help that. So how is that unearned runs?
Yeah, I don't think you're alone with that. I think there are people that think that. Tommy Joseph fights that one off toward left field. Gamble on the run, makes the diving attempt and grabs it out of the air. So Tommy Joseph robbed of a hit. The Phillies, though, score 4 runs, capped off by Aaron Altair's 2-run bomb to left center field. That means we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies comfortably on top, 8-2. Take on the Atlanta Braves at 7:05. After the game, stay for a free post-game concert featuring Grammy-nominated singer Hunter Hayes. Now, your game ticket is your concert ticket. No additional purchase is necessary. Well, he's had a successful concert after a ball game earlier this year with the Avett brothers. And it's like we're going to have another good show with Hunter Hayes. Hector Neris will be the new pitcher for the Phils. Neris with a 3.62 earned run average. This is not a save situation, but the Phils need a win.
Yeah.
And he was warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, this has saved the manager and the players or coach's situation. A lot of frustration down there on the bench, but hopefully this is the start of some better brand of baseball.
Out of play over the third base dugout. At 0-2.
What's Freddie's average up to now? He's got to be close to.
He's 252. Oh, good pitch. Location-wise, it was a split that was up. That's the 11th strikeout for Phillies pitching. I guess you don't want it up there.
No, no, he just got away with one. But again, it's one of those pitches that, what are you telling yourself as a hitter? I have to make him get that split up. That one was up and stayed up, and that's why Seager swung underneath it.
Haniger takes a strike on the inner half. It's 0-1. Tomorrow's a 12:40 local time start, 3:40 Eastern time.
12:40.
Yeah. Short turnaround there, Johnny.
Oh. Might need a break. Your Murph do play-by-play, or color, or whatever. What do I do? What is this called?
You are a color commentator.
Color commentator. All right.
You're a storyteller.
Yeah.
We'll be on the air at 3:30 on CSN. And then it's back east after the ball game. Off day on Thursday, and then the Mets for 3 games in New York. As Haniger goes down on strikes. That was a better split.
Yes.
12 strikeouts for the Phils tonight. Second one for Neris. And 2 away.
Yeah, this is the good one right here. That one that starts off the plate and breaks down on the outside corner into the dirt. If he could throw some here the way the Valencia's approach has been tonight, we might have their 13 strikeout and a big win.
Now a ball down the left field line that broke Valencia's bat, so it's 0-1.
I see a lot of guys like Double uses that. Look like Valencia and them guy.
The Manny Mota stick?
No, it's a spray.
Oh, the spray.
What is that?
I think it's a new
like Stickum?
A new version of like a pine tar. Yeah, like a Stickum.
What do they can't rub that stick on their bat?
Trying to make life easier. '94 on the fastball, 0-2.
Now throw that same split you just threw to Haniger, and we're going home.
Phillies fans are on their feet, and there's a lot of them over the third base dugout, hoping for a victory. The Phils have won 1 game so far on this road trip. Trying to make it 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Valencia. He does not offer at that change. It's 1-2.
Well, that would have been a tough one to swing at.
Yeah.
If he'd have swung at that, that's okay. Let's just go home, get home early.
And he would be in swing mode.
That would be a little overactive swing mode.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Got him. 3 straight strikeouts for Hector Neris, and the Phillies have taken game 1 of this series. And the Phillies fans who have made their way out to Safeco, they are very pleased with the way this ball game finished up. Aaron Nola, 7 solid innings, 6 up, 6 down for the bullpen. Had an offensive explosion, 8 runs on 9 base hits. A nice night for Maikel Franco. A double, a home run. He also made some very good plays over at third base, and he is our Chevrolet player of the game. Well, as you mentioned, John, this was just a good ball game for the Phils all the way around on so many levels.
Yeah, it surely was. And, you know, I think the big blow of the game, matter of fact, it's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game, is that home run in the 7th inning by Maikel Franco. Paxton was just cruising along, only giving up 2 runs, and Maikel Franco says, I'm going to handle this fastball middle in. Luis Garcia said, don't worry, I'll get it for you, big fella. I'll bring that back to you. Another home run ball. Dubel psyched up, Franco, and that's our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Yeah, the Phillies had a couple of deliveries tonight that were impressive. Freddie Galvis had a really good night tonight with 3 base hits and also an RBI. And Aaron Altair extended his hitting streak to 9 consecutive games, which was big as well. But Maikel Franco, I thought, really stood out offensively and defensively in this ball game.
Yeah, 1 misplay.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to live with that. But the 2 plays he made, especially that last one with the bases loaded in the 7th inning, Aaron Nola, you knew it was going to be his last hit regardless. Franco made that unbelievable play. Got him in.
Well, Maikel Franco just met with Luis Garcia, who caught his home run ball with his hat, and he's down on the field with Greg Murphy.
Yeah, we were just saying what a great catch that was for Luis. You giving him his props right on your home run ball?
Yeah, yes, nice catch, by the way. You know, when I hit the ball, I just watch the video. And after that, I just be like, that's Luis? He made a nice play.
He certainly did. All right, let's talk about your offense, though. You know, Paxton really seemed to have your guys' number early on, but you were seeing the ball well, obviously, off of Paxton. What was the difference for you tonight?
I mean, like I said, don't try to take too much. Don't try to force the situation. Don't go to overpressure. Just try to go out there and not think about nothing. Just play the game the right way. So try to clean your mind and just go out there every single day and compete and be aggressive every single at-bat, every single second.
You were in the middle of just about everything tonight. This was still a ball game in the bottom of the 7th when you make the play over here at third. You take a lot of pride in your defense. I know that was a pretty special play.
I mean, yes. Like I said, every single day I'm just coming in and expect to just, like I said, get better every single day. And